Hello everyone, Sheek here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Energon Optimus Prime. And as you can see, he is in a pretty big box. There is Optimus, there's all of his drones, his trailer, and he has electronic sounds, a comic book and collector card included. Of course, this is as old as the other one. This price is the same thing. The quest for Energon, a rare and potent substance that the Autobot and Decepticon warriors have battled for eons, continues on Earth. Blah blah da dee da da. Very similar and pretty much the same thing as Energon Megatron. If you want to read the whole thing, feel free to pause the video and or just go ahead and look at my review of Megatron. Trailer becomes an Energon tower with helicopter landing pad right there. Activate vehicle battle sounds. Not sure where all the electric sounds are. Probably in him. Assault vehicles combined with truck cab to create Power Link Super Optimus Prime figure and a vehicle transport trailer. And he is skill level 4. And yeah, robots in the sides. I don't know why English is the middle language. Anyway, that's about it for the packaging. Let's just see. There's a little bit more on the bottom. Inferno and Hotshot. And then Jetfire and Ironhide. And obviously you can mix them, match them, of course, as well. Doesn't have to be those. Wouldn't mind getting those at some point. And as you can see, that also went up there. Yeah, the instructions. I guess this guy's been slid out, possibly. Anyway, that's about it for the packaging. And a shout out to TC Rockets, where I picked this up before deployment. They were so kind as to ship it home for me, along with some other things I bought while I was there. Yeah, if you live in the San Diego area, I'd recommend checking them out. Anyway, let's go ahead and get them out. Alright, so here we have Energon Optimus Prime out of his packaging. He comes with this tiny dinky little rifle, and I can understand why someone commented when I posted all the haul that I got. They're like, yeah, except I hate how he comes with a dinky little rifle. Now I see what they mean. Anyway, as you can see, he does have a fairly cool looking trailer that holds all of his drones that he can use for, well, you know, all the things that he does. Well, pretty much for, I guess, recon missions, whatever. But the main thing is that, hey, they become limbs for him in his combined mode, Power Link mode. Anyway, there's not a whole lot to the vehicle mode, just trailer. Does rotate pretty well. So, I mean, it's not the worst truck mode. I mean, it's kind of like a mishmash between Earth and Cybertronian, I think. And for comparison, let's go ahead and bring in Naval Commander and his trailer and see how they look together. As you can see, well, I mean, it's not necessarily the fairest comparison, because I mean, Naval Commander is the pretty much the masterpiece equivalent of the Armada version of Optimus Prime, but I will say that he definitely looks better than him. Although I will admit, he does look like more like a regular cab up here, and he just has these giant smokestacks on the sides. And then, for comparison to both of these guys, here we have Cybertron Optimus Prime. Although this is the original Cybertron Optimus Prime, and then, of course, this is the original Energon Optimus Prime. And we'll see how they compare. So, I mean, he's a fire truck, he's a tractor trailer, just as Armada's a tractor trailer. And let's just go ahead and take a look at the cabs. I mean, obviously, there's not much else to see. I mean, he has his arms right here. The combined mode head up here. Helmet, and of course, you can see his head up here. Don't know why it doesn't go all the way in, but it sticks up. And that's pretty much it. Definitely a very wide load. And I definitely see why they call him Fatimus Prime, which you'll really see in his robot mode. And then, I guess we can go ahead and show you Cybertron's mode without his trailer. Let's go ahead and pop that off. Yeah. Oh boy. There we are. Come on. There we are. Forgot how stiff that can be. Okay, and here we have him. I will admit, he does look a bit goofy without his trailer, because, I mean, it's super long back, but, I mean, it is supposed to be the whole thing. And that's pretty much it for his cab. And I guess I can go ahead and also show Armada or Naval Commander with just the cab, which, like I said, as far as cabs go, I'd say he looks a little bit better. But he does have rubber tires and, I mean, the truck bed, the arms. Granted, it is very accurate to the way Armada looked, but it does look pretty goofy. So that's about it for that. I'll probably go ahead and at some point, maybe if I have time, I'll do a review, or not a review, but a comparison more in depth between the Optimus Primes, the trilogy, if you will. But this one's obviously going to be focusing on him. Now his trailer does have an alt mode, sort of. Oh yeah, you want to put in that up. You just flip this up, flip these down, around, flip this up, flip out the helipad, and then you just open up all these panels. And I suppose you could also just slide that up like that, just to pop these open without actually having to lift them up, and then just pull out all of his drones. And another thing that's kind of cool, I guess, is if you leave this ramp closed, there, he rolls out. Yeah, there's not a whole lot that this does. It's just, you know, supposed to look like, I guess, a little tower, heli tower or something. I can't remember exactly what it's described as, but that's pretty much what it is. Oh yeah, and it's a little unsteady. One last thing I did forget to do, just flip that stand down, and it's more steady. Now to get this into helicopter configuration, all you do is just rotate the rotor out, flip out the tail rotor, and rotate around, and then you can spin flying helicopter. If you look closely, at least on this side, which is the side facing the window, it is slightly yellowed, not horribly yellowed, but slightly yellowed. It's a little bit darker than this side, but it's not too noticeable, so it's not that bad. And then just put that right off there. This is the fire truck. Just flip, you can pull that out. That's not a whole lot to it. This also rotates around. I guess it's a lower down fire hose nozzle, something like that. And then this is the driller drone, and rolling spins the drill bit. And if you notice, they all have these radar dishes. I guess that might be how he remote controls them. I'm not exactly sure. And then there's the submarine. It doesn't really have any really special gimmicks. It just rolls around, as submarines should, I guess. And of course, right here you can see Optimus Prime's combined hand right there. And then all of these drones can either become a foot or a hand, depending how you transform them. For the purposes of this review, I'm just going to do it based on how they have you combine them for the combined mode on the instructions, or how he normally is combined in the show. But you turn drone 4 or submarine drone, I can't remember. They had names in the show, but you just flip the foot out like that. Just makes it a foot. And then you just want to untab this because you don't want to, I guess, damage that peg. Just flip up. Come on. And I guess get that further up, but flip this up and kind of just let rest it on there. And there you have his lower legs. I'm not doing the combined mode first, but I was just like, well, I'm talking about the drones, may as well go ahead and do them. But you just want to flip these back, panels back, pull up and out, and there's a hand. Now if you look, the thumb is right in the center, so it means you can use it for either arm, doesn't really matter which. And then you just rotate this up like that. And if you want to, I mean, it doesn't show it extended instructions, but if you want to just give them a little more panache, I guess make them look a little more interesting, you can extend that out. And then for hand mode, pretty much the same thing as the fire truck, just flip those back, extend out, and pull, I guess kind of rotate the rotor out of the way, but just extend like that, and of course flip the tail rotor in. And depending on, considering that this side is the side that's yellowed, I mean, granted the screw holes are on this side, but thing is though, either way, no matter which arm you put on, one of them so I have screw holes showing, so that doesn't really matter, I guess. And if you can see, like, there's very little difference in the actual molding of it, just what's put on there. Like, it's very, very similar. Anyway, I guess it's to make it more interchangeable. So there we have all his drones ready for combination. I guess I'll go ahead and close this back up. Set that off to the side. And let's go ahead and look at... Oh, well, that's something I didn't notice, because I don't remember. But I guess he has sound effects for, I guess, weapons fire. Anyway, in the box, his arms were like this, but based on these panels right here, and how it just meshes with it, I'm pretty sure that's how he's supposed to be transformed. Because he can't rotate, he does not have bicep swivel, so it makes sense that it would, if it's at an angle and this is at an angle, it just lines up perfectly, that's where they're supposed to go. I know I'm getting a little too much into that. So get him in a robot, whoops, to get him in a robot mode, just flip down his legs, which are kind of skinny, flip out his feet, which are also extremely flat, and skinny, just looks really skinny. And then just flip his arms out and around, out and down, and flip out his hands, slide out his hands, which also do not rotate. And you pretty much got him in his robot mode. Then you just want to rotate this down, collapse up, and then you pretty much got him in his robot mode except for his head. Just flip that up like so. And we have Fatimus Prime, and you can really see why they call him Fatimus Prime, because, I mean, look how pudgy he looks. He looks just so fat. I mean, really, really fat. Definitely needs to cut down on the Energon, I guess. Now, the rifle doesn't look too bad for this mode. Doesn't look horrible. I mean, yeah, but, I mean, for the combined mode, he definitely should have a bigger gun. So that's about it for his robot mode. I guess I better go ahead and show our articulation off. His head is on a swivel joint. It's not on a ball joint as far as I can tell. You can do it full 360 at the shoulder. Arms go out that far. Get about, come on, whoops, was not intending to collapse his hand. You get about a little less than 90 degree bend at the elbow. Very stiff ratchets, which I guess I'm appreciative of that. I mean, almost everything on him is ratchets. And then you cannot get anywhere near the full splits. I mean, it's a good thing that these tires move out the way they do, because if they didn't move out at all, well, you wouldn't really be able to get any leg articulation. It'd be just like this. He can go forward that far, back about that far. And he does have bend at the knee. He does have about 90 degrees bend at the knee, just slightly less than. And that's pretty much it for articulation. And I guess you could say that just moves around, but that's just... just looks really goofy having your helmet hanging off the back. Now there is one more gimmick that I did forget to kind of show you guys. It is really obnoxious, but each one has a different sound effect, and that corresponds to their vehicle. Like one is fire truck, two is helicopter, three is drill, although that could be pretty much any vehicle, loud vehicle, and then this is submarine. I guess that's supposed to be sonar. So, I mean, it's very, very basic. But, I mean, I guess it's kind of fun, even though it does look pretty bad. And for comparison, here we have Naval Commander in his uncombined, just cow robot mode. And as you can see, granted, I will admit this is a little bit big, even for his robot mode. Although, to be fair, I mean, I guess it is a little more anime style. So, I mean, having a big old gun isn't too unrealistic. Yeah. Even though he combines into, like, a really big figure, he still doesn't look super ill-proportioned in his individual robot mode. And then, also, for comparison, I know, we all know who it's going to be. Cybertron Optimus Prime. And as you can see, I mean, he does look slightly chunky because, I mean, he does have his super mode too. So, I mean, obviously they're not going to be able to get it completely perfect. But his gun, it's proportioned all right, considering that his mode right now. And that's about it for him. Yup. And let's go ahead and get Optimus into his less fat looking mode, but still kind of chunky mode. Okay, I actually don't have to push his hands in, but I decided to push them in. But you pretty much just straighten up his arms like that. Close up his feet. Close his feet up like that. Now he just got sticks for legs. And then let's just go ahead and shove it in like that. It clips into place. I think it would be like Submarine 4, combine. Driller 3, combine. I think he said stuff like that as he was combining. I guess Fire Truck 1, combine. And then, you know, Helicopter 2, combine. Something like that. And then the last thing he would do, I think, he would like cross his arm, like you grab his chest, pull it open, and his helmet would flip over, and then he would like light up. I mean, it looked kind of cool in the show. If only the animation isn't even the biggest thing. If the story had at least made a little bit more sense, and there wasn't Kicker and Ironhide were like really annoying. Like that's one reason why I wasn't able to finish the whole show. Oh, and also getting his helmet situated. It's kind of tricky. I guess I didn't talk my way through it exactly, but you know, pretty much it's flipped back. You flip it up, over, fold the panels down, rotate up his side antenna, and here you have the combined head. It does rotate right here, but it doesn't rotate with his head the best, so his head pretty much just stays stationary in there while his helmet rotates around. And also you can't really see his face very well in there, and also his head has a tendency to drop down when you put that on there. So yeah, that's pretty much his combined mode. And I guess, not exactly for, well, I guess it's a comparison, not of Primes, but for his competition. I mean, look at this. Look at how big he is. He doesn't even need any minion drones. Like, he doesn't need drones to be as big and awesome as he is. Optimus needs 4 drones just to be the same size as Megatron. And that's assuming that none of his drones are off busy doing something else, or get broken, or whatever. He has massive shoulder cannons. I mean, and then, granted, I don't have it out right now, but he has this giant tank with a huge sword and a huge cannon, and he just gets this dinky little rifle. Pew. And then Megatron would be like, that's cute, and then boom, blast him away. I mean, I suppose that's probably why they came up with Omega Prime, which is actually one figure I would love to get, is Energon Omega Supreme, because that figure actually is pretty cool. Never owned it, but I've seen it. Looks awesome. And of course, you can combine the two to make Omega Prime, as I just mentioned. And that's about it for his combined mode. And then we'll be right back with some more comparisons. Alright, and here we have my good friend, Naval Commander. He's still kind of broken, but I did make a little temporary fix that I'll have to do. And here we have him, side by side. As you can see, he is so tall that he doesn't really fit on the camera all that well. And look at that massive gun of his. It's still even pretty big, even for his combined mode. But I mean, granted, the barrel's extended, so it's a little bit bigger. And look at that teeny tiny little pea shooter that Energon Optimus Prime has. Yeah, definitely quite the difference, night and day for sure. And let's go ahead and move him off to the side and bring in Cybertron Optimus Prime. They are actually about the same size, height-wise anyway. Although Cybertron Optimus Prime does have quite the wingspan and quite the armament down here. He has like 4 guns, 2 leg-mounted guns, 2 huge guns from his backpack, and then also Matrix Blast attack. And he doesn't even appear to have a Matrix. So either he does have the Matrix and maybe you see it in the show but never see it on the toy, obviously, or he just doesn't have a Matrix and he's an imposter and not a true Prime. Because if he doesn't have the Matrix, is he truly a Prime? Is he truly Optimus Prime, or is he just Fatimus Prime? Anyway, yeah, I know, I'm being a little harsh towards him, but really, like, how does the predecessor have the Matrix? Now, granted, I don't know if the original Armada Optimus Prime had the Matrix, but how does the predecessor have the Matrix and the guy afterwards have the Matrix? So why don't you have the Matrix? Anywho, that's about it for the comparisons. Oh, wait, one more comparison. Wait, I already did it. Never mind, I already compared Megatron compared to him. Yep, but that's about it for Transformers Energon Optimus Prime. And if you'd like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. Until next time, have a good one, everyone.